Bloody beautiful day. Good day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Here you go. Today, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to do some work out the shed. I've got to repot a tree. Almost out of potting mix. Had to do one for the missus, so used my cactus mix that I use for bonsai. Just absolutely beautiful day. Feels like spring's on the way. I'm sure we'll get some more winter fronts, but the last week has just been absolutely beautiful. Things are starting to grow. Weeds are growing. Everything's nice and green. Got junk here. Just finished cleaning up and washing my son's old Suzuki 50. So we're going to be selling that. Just gave it a good old wash. So that's for sale if anyone wants it. It's good for kids to learn on. There's a safety, walk behind safety rope that you can hold in case they get out of control. Anyway, so we got that one ready to sell, and then the son's going to get a bigger bike with the money that's left over, and we might have to chuck some in as well. Oh, another thing too, we've got a new addition to our motorbike family. We got this one here, old Port Power stickers, Yamaha Bruin 250 for walking the dog. So that's going to be pretty cool. Walk the dog again because the old one broke down and I got sick of trying to fix it all the time. It's just a pain in the butt. Yeah, so that's about it. Just absolutely stunning day. So that's the one that broke down. That's a really old one, which kind of still runs, but it's pretty dodgy. But that one there runs good when it's running. Nice to ride, but broken down. Something wrong with the carby. I bought a Chinese carby for it, but it runs slightly better than the old carby, but still choking up too much, getting too much fuel. Anyway, onto the tree. It's enough mucking around with off-subject stuff. Oh, I'll bring you up close to this tree, by the way. Just for a sec, I'll just unclip you off the tripod here. Yeah, have a look at this. You know how you know spring's here? When the old ash tree starts to put out leaf. Now you might be able to tell there. Getting all green tips on it. Turning green. So I'm going to repot this and quickly trim it before it's too late. This is my first original ash tree. First bonsai I ever got. I'm just going to get me drink. Don't know what it did with me drink. Bugger. Beautiful day. Okay guys. Oh, lucky. Hello. He's growling at the big dog, Leo. He doesn't really like Leo, so he's quite often don't let him out together, but today we have. Settle. Settle, Papa. Man. So this little guy is still going, little foxy. It's okay. He's about 15 years old now. Bit grumpy. Aren't you? Stop being grumpy. I'll put him down and let him run around with the big dog. He's all noise. no fight. Anyway, bloody got sick of looking for me beer, so I've got a new one. Stuff it. When it turns up, I was going to say when it turns up, I'll drink the other one. And literally just behind the camera, on my old rain gauge here, show you. Bloody hell, look at that. There's my other one, almost dead full. Sam, you idiot. Okay, let's repot this. It'll be a quick repot. So we're a few minutes later, so we've got the old double going here. Ready? Oh, that's why they call it double shot. Beauty. Alright, so let's repot that. I might put these on the ground so I don't wobble them on. So I don't smash them. Otherwise all the wobbling they might smash on the ground. So I need a saw. Okay, so it's going to be a quick repot. Nothing really technical about how I'm going to do it. Just going to pull it out the pot. I'm hoping there's no lips. Hoping. Yeah, like I say, this is my original bonsai that I bought when I first got into bonsai about 11 years ago now. It's going to put up a fight, I reckon. I'm trying to feel whether it's got a lip or not, because I don't want to smash the pot, but no, it doesn't seem to have a lip. It's just that well rooted in here. So I'm going to have to do some. I should really check. I'll just grab the tool to check. Checking that we're recording. Okay, so I'm going to just run this tool down here just to check there's no ridge. Okay, so there is a bloody really small ridge, but it's enough. It's a tiny ridge. Okay, so because there's a tiny ridge, get my little blade here, I'm going to cut around. Yeah, outside the pot. That's what these things are for, if anyone doesn't know. So look like that, and you just cut around the outside. A knife grating on the rocks, really, I don't know, it's a bit like chalk on a chalkboard. It really sends shivers up your spine while you're doing it. Sort of does a weird vibrate. See how easy that comes out after you do that? I'll just show you the little rim. It's not much, so it's not too bad. It's just a small lip there. It's Just a really small lip in the inside there. Not too bad though. Okay, so now that I've got it out, I'll show you how I deal with these sort of reasonably well developed trees. Basically, I just take the moss off the top and all the few weeds. There's a bit of Irish moss. I know that's not its real name. Someone will correct me. But that's what I'm calling it. So I scratch that off. Hopefully I'll be able to expose some of this root base down here this time when I repot, because it's starting to get quite a fat old root base to this, with a bit of craggly old bark. Looks like grandma's old wrinkles. Okay, so we're getting there. We've nearly cleaned off all this Irish moss here. Not too much of a root base at the back here, but that's alright. I'll expose what I can when I repot it. When I put the moss on. Okay. Now I'm going to cop a little bit of scrutiny from some people, you know, they don't agree with the method I'm going to use here. But I wouldn't do this if I thought it was going to harm the tree at all. It's fine for a deciduous tree. I'll just have another double up. Beauty. Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't do it if I thought it was going to harm the tree, especially my first ever bonsai. What I'm going to do, because I'm going to put it back into this same pot, I might actually try and find these screens before I do this. Okay, so it looks like I just did one big screen like that across the bottom. So I'll put that back in the pot, use it again. Now, all I'm going to do is cut an inch off each side and then just put some fresh soil in the sides. Give it a bit of a wash with the hose. Like I say, this has no ill effect to the tree at all. The tree loves it. Deciduous tree is very hardy. Bit of an old base there, so I won't cut too much into that. Like I say, you know, in the other video, you know, like people go to the effort of combing them out carefully and then they cut them off anyway. So this is no different. Just looks a bit harsher. And you'll also get people that argue you're not giving the root a clean cut like you would with a pair of snips, because you're sawing through it. Sort of half tearing, half cutting. Okay. Now I'll cut some off the bum. Probably cut about a third. You can see the roots on this thing completely filled the pot. It's probably only been 2 or 3 years. You can see that's like a complete mat. Whoops, sorry, I kicked the tripod. You can see it's just a complete mat. So then I can put some more soil in the bottom, more around the edges. I'll give this a bit of a hose off, just around the edges a bit, and then get back to you. There's a bit of a hose here, but no pressure. We'll have to go around with a high pressure hose. Okay guys, just show you after I've given it a bit of a wash out. So I just cut really like an inch off all the way around, give it a wash out, and you can see how loose that is in the pot now. And then I'll refresh that all with new soil. You can see this massive amount of fine fibrous roots there, very healthy, and this here will not affect it at all. And then it'll have, you know, be able to put on some new fresh roots in some fresh soil. Very easy, simple way of repotting, very effective, and the tree won't look back. It'll just keep pushing out its new buds for spring, and I'll give you an update when it's got leaves on it. But for now, let's keep repotting. Okay, so all I'm going to do now, got the mesh in the bottom. My head on there, Tay. Tay's doing the camera work.
Nope, it's chopped off now.
Is my head chopped off?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some in the bottom. Then we're just going to wriggle it in. Now I've already got the planting angle and all that chosen for this tree, so don't need to stuff around with that too much. Literally just wriggle it back in there with a good inch of soil on the bottom. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pile up a pile around this whole thing and work it into the sides carefully. Put a pile, work it into the sides where I've cut the sides off, and then it'll be able to push out new shoots everywhere. And to be honest, this is the first time I've used the cactus and succulent mix, and I'm telling you, it's as good as anything. Scott's Osmocote cactus and succulent mix, and it's as good as any bonsai mix I've ever bought. Got enough gravel and drainage and stuff in there. Should be good. Really good for the Australian climate. And then go and get my other one. These beautiful root hooks that Stephen McKay made. Bloody beautiful. Yeah, handcrafted. I've got the straight one out now. These handcrafted root hooks. Literally just wriggle it around, let the soil go in. The soil is actually a little bit too wet to go in very easily, so I'm sort of helping it out by pushing in with my fingers, which is fine. You know, as long as you're not taking too much off like this, like I only took a third off the bottom, an inch all the way around on the sides, there's nothing really scary about repotting, you know, especially on a deciduous tree. You won't even notice that amount of roots gone. It'll just bounce back and fly along like nothing happened. In fact, it'll probably grow stronger this year than if you didn't repot it. So there's nothing to worry about. When you do got to worry is when you start, you know, raking out the roots and completely just cutting everything off. Some people are really crazy about having the perfect nabari. They'll rake each root out and really put a lot of effort into trying to get it right, but myself, well, I'm not really that fussed about it. I think it naturally grows how it wants to grow, the roots, and I let the top do the same. I let the top and the bottom naturally grow how it wants to grow. I don't try and force it or cut it back hard all the time. Too much. Once I get an established tree, I just sort of then trim it. At the start, I do cut them back very hard, as you've seen in some previous videos, when you're first forming the trunk and the first few branches. But after that, when they get to this stage, I just give them light trimmings and let them go where they want to go. Okay, so pretty happy with how that is around the sides. Now I've got to go and get some moss, put some moss on it, and we're done. Easy as that. First, before we get the moss going, let's have another drink. Ah, beauty. I don't know whether they're quite thin yet. Oh, that burns. Oh. Whew. That's the double up. Got another drink. Bloody beauty. Man, this sunshine on your face, just beautiful. I was lying on the lawn earlier, just relaxing with the nice hot sun on me. Even this table's getting hot. Just reminded me of summer again. I love summer. It does get too hot here, but I do love it. No wind, dead calm. Got no special mic on the camera, it's just absolutely dead calm. There's not even one knot of breeze. Oh, another thing I'll tell you too, believe it or not, I had more bloody computer problems. So the new computer I got ended up just being the wife's. She said she only uses it to watch videos and stuff, so she said I can have it. So I grabbed her laptop and started using it, put all my files on, paid for an upgrade of the video editing program, did that one video, and then bloody thing, I don't know, it crashed again. Except this is a different computer, and it crashed. And then I had to do a full reset of the whole computer, wipe all the data, everything, and start as if it's a brand new computer, because it wouldn't start up Windows 10. It couldn't do it, so at least this time the hard drive wasn't broken. It would still let you go into the C drive prompt, and it would also do a factory reset of the whole computer. So luckily it allowed that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen again. So it's up and running again now, obviously, because the last video that got posted was after the crash, even though I won't be saying that in the video because the videos was filmed before the crash. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, so I've had more bloody dramas. I hate computers. Anyway, let's moss this tree. Enough sucking and whinging. So yeah, I was almost down again. If that computer had have completely crashed and not restarted, not reset, I don't know what I would have done, because we got that new motorbike I showed you and stuff. I don't really have the funds to go out and get a new computer. You know, if anyone's got a really old, well, something that can handle it, just a desktop, I don't even care if it's like an old desktop computer that they don't use and it's just sitting in the back corner, bloody might be worth giving it a go, you know, just because I feel like the desktops are more reliable than the laptops. Laptop's cool because you can do it on the couch, you can do it anywhere, but I don't know, I'm having a fair bit of issues. Anyway, I'll see how it goes now into the future. Let's moss this tree. Oh, before I do, let's just trim it. Now I'm just going to trim some of the stubs back. I'm going to trim the long shoots. Here's a long one here, and that's already in the apex of this tree. So there's a very long straight section here which is pretty ugly. I'm going to chop the whole thing off, let it shoot out. Same with this one here. It's a really ugly branch that's grown really long. It's gone. Just chop stuff back pretty short. Just trying to improve ramification a bit. Probably should have done this a bit earlier, because like I say, there's already shoots on here. But generally there's enough back budding going on that I can cut back to the back budding at the moment. There's not a lot to cut. Cut. Not a lot to cut. It's not a lot to cut, because mid-spring last year, when I defoliated that other tree that I showed you in the last video, the one that I repotted, I defoliated this one too, so this one's got a lot more finer ramification. Reshot out again, just like I hoped it would, and just really improved the ramification. So I really highly recommend, if you got these ash trees, to completely defoliate them after the first flush hardens off. Completely defoliate them, trim them back to where you want them, and make them flush out again, because it does really give you two flushes. It gives you 2 years in one. I think it's done. The daughter's brought out some lunch for me. Thank you. Nice bit of corned beef, some veggies, good old Brussels sprout. Geez, I've got it good. Beautiful.
Leo's there.
Hola. Good boy. Well, that's beautiful. I'll finish working on this tree and I'll eat the rest. Hopefully I don't make you guys too hungry. That's just beautiful.
Leo,
Wash it down with a drink.
Leo, jeez.
I'm pretty happy that's, you know, trimmed back. One thing I'm really happy about too, it's like I'm a teenager, my voice is breaking again. One thing I'm really happy about, this tree's actually starting to get lichen in a lot of places. And I've never been able to grow natural lichen on any of my trees. We'll give you a close-up, this is pretty exciting. Never been able to grow lichen, but there you go. There's a bit of lichen there. Starting to grow. And there was some other bits of lichen as well down here. Pretty cool. Also, won't focus on anything.
I think you might have made your fans hungry when they watch that.
Yeah, I reckon. And here we go. Also, here's some green shoots. Just loving these summer days. Beautiful. Right, let's get back to putting some moss on. Sooner I moss the tree, sooner I can eat me full lunch. Okay, so me and Taya, my daughter, we just collected some moss around the side of the shed. I'm just going to chuck it on. Try to expose some of the root system. Not a lot to expose, but there is some, you know, some features starting to happen. And then it's also a matter of, once you get this moss on and the moss starts to grow, to try and keep it off the roots that you've left, that you've chosen to expose a little bit. We've got more than enough moss here, which is better than running out. Otherwise you guys would have to watch me go back to the shed again. Well, go and do something else anyway while I'm meant to be filming. And then you have to sit there and wait. Oh. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Bit of moss left over, but that's good. Use it on another tree or put it back in the ground, either way. Better than not having enough. Right, I'll just fill up the watering can, which I did see somewhere. Go, give it a bit of water. Check my drink's not too close here. Once you get it nice and wet, then you can push the moss in a bit better. Washes a lot of the old dirt out of the moss. You know, wild collected moss like that will have a few weed seeds in it, so you do have to go and get rid of some weeds after, but that's just bad luck. Part of bonsai is weeding. Worst part of bonsai, I reckon, but it's part of it. I'm talking of weeding, that's what I'm going to be going and doing now. It's just going back to my other trees and doing a bit of weeding on a nice sunny day. Just sit out in the sun on a seat. Do a bit of weeding. Beautiful. Have a few brewskis on the cider because Mrs. didn't realise I was out of my old ton beer. So that's alright. She's loaning me her ciders, so that's good. Done. That's about it. That's the repot done. Bit of a trim. Cheers for watching. Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your mates about the channel. If you're watching and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Help out the channel. Cheers. Have a good one.